I don't think we thought explicitly about we must have a philosopher in residence, but I think the way, certainly since we've reopened, the building has gone in a sort of more public direction. That it's much more about the life of reflects the life of the city in a way that perhaps it didn't before. The philosophy and the arts share that same thing, that on the one hand they're seen as elitist and removed from everyday reality, but as we all know, if you're involved in the practice, you know that art certainly does and can engage with the everyday. And I think, given what Yotta's interest in that idea of philosophy also being an everyday discourse, we felt that put the two together.
I'd never even thought of having sort of a lecture off campus. Kind of brought a more practical feel to sort of the work that you're doing in a lecture.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe they might feel scary, they might feel there's nothing done in that world. It's I wanted to project and work with them to show actually they can come in, they can find some leisure time. It's when their break. It's this is not another work. This is actually could be their part of their work. And also some local artists, is mainly from gallery assistant, to go to the Primark and do using their everyday object, for example hangers and things, and then create artworks all together.
I felt like that. That was one of the most challenging concepts for me, or facts rather. The fact that the Blue Coat as a gallery exists in the middle of Liverpool One, and it's part of a shopping area. And there is a boundary, nevertheless, between Primark and the rest of the shops and Blue Coat. And in fact, in my inaugural lecture, I started by saying that the very same object, and this is a factual thing, and it has happened, that you can just buy in the shop around the corner. I saw it being exhibited here as part of an exhibition. So for me, that was like, a very interesting thing. What is this boundary, and how can we break it? But first, we need to understand it.
The importance of taking it outside of the confines of the University of Liverpool, putting it in the Blue Coat, means that it's not quite seen as being part of that as an institution which might be important in terms of accessibility to other people. And there might be other constituencies, and I can think of two, one of which is I'm being filmed. One of which is that, having spent 40 years teaching music in different ways, I've never done a formal aesthetics course before.
If the Blue Coat wants to go to a different level, if you like, it wants to have a reputation as a kind of fully fledged artistic institution, it can't do that if it doesn't have an intellectual component.
Well, interestingly, we've you mentioned the word inquiry before, and that idea of an arts venue having some lines of inquiry is something that we've developed over the last, really since you've been here. I don't think it's necessarily a direct to hook you, but it's sort of, it's just happened that we also are looking at focusing on or articulating what our lines of inquiry are. Now, you can have an artistic policy, you can have aims and objectives, you have a business plan that tells you how you're going to get those things, but we thought, well, actually what we need, and this is I think Mary's brought this to the table very much, because the Blue Coat has done these lines of inquiry but never articulated them, we should now start to articulate we're interested in.
I took a lot of pleasure in sort of putting music on, walking down, coming into this lovely building and kind of learning about something which I'm really interested in.
Because I work here and I've seen on the program, forthcoming program, I was very excited because I really I was interested in philosophy, but I didn't have chance to study or to do any courses. So I was looking forward. Then I joined the first lecture. It was in November, I think. It was brilliant. So then I immediately put my name down for the aesthetic course.
I mean, I was just Googling for art courses in Liverpool, and that's how I came across this. And I don't think there was much content on the website, but I just, because it said art and aesthetics, and I was basically looking as to see how I could increase my aesthetic appreciation of art. And then I enrolled myself. But the morning before I came here, I met a mutual friend of Lota's, and then she said, you know, it's philosophy, and that's what you've done. And I said, oh no, but then, I mean, I thought I'd give it a try, but then I got hooked right from the first class.
Whereas I found out about the lecture just by chance, and it was just half an hour before the introduction.